and someone's sitting there watching that saying, what's going on with this thing? Whoa! It's time for another Bingercise. And right here, if you've been watching, I can now show you my fixed temporary tooth in the front. There you go. Ah, there. That's a little better. So, it's going to be several months till there's a permanent implant in there. So for now, that's what I got. So, did you know that the movement we're designed to do, I'm going to get right to it. You worried about your health or your fitness. Well, let me tell you, those are two very different things. I learned this for myself at least 25 years ago. And here it is. So, fitness is achieved usually through just exercises. And exercise is a very kind of mechanical thing. It's kind of an isolated thing. It's kind of on its own in a lot of ways. And you use fitness to do certain things better. Let's say you want to run a marathon. Let's say you just want enough fitness to carry your shingles up to your roof, to re-shingle your roof, whatever it is. That's fitness. However, just because a person's fit for a certain activity doesn't mean they're healthy at all. Myself, I used to be a competitive runner years ago, a road runner. I ran 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, sometimes even ran the mile. So I ran the gamut. And while I was a decent runner, I'd place in races. The smaller races, maybe I could win every now and then, but maybe not. But the main thing was, all that training did not exactly do wonders for my health. I was a fit runner, but I wasn't certainly fit either for other parts of life. Running made me weaker in a lot of ways, took away a lot of muscle, made me extremely tight, a lot of fatigue. And I think when you run at a high level, it starts aging you before your time. Now, health, on the other hand, that's something that you have to feel good in your life, right? That's something where you wake up in the morning and you're happy you have your health. No major diseases, sicknesses, arthritis, all that other stuff. That's the health side. So a lot of people confuse the two. There's different ways at each one. Fitness is definitely important, and we're going to do a little exercise today. But the health side, is, as far as exercise goes, is just about movement. It's not necessarily about doing specific exercises. It's just about moving. So that could mean 100 different things, 1,000 different things. We are designed to move. There's no doubt about it. That's a fact. We were designed that way. We weren't designed to be laying around, sitting around, pigging out on junk food, watching streaming shows for 6 hours, letting our minds get even more dull, which non-movement makes dull enough. Then we sit there watching our eyes locked on a screen, except to get up and get more food to stuff in our mouth or to go to the bathroom. And it's just a vicious downward spiral. You put on weight, you get weaker, you feel crummy, your health certainly suffers. And at the end of the day, when my dad had his stroke and was bedridden, and my dad was a very active guy up until the day of that stroke. He lifted weights, ran on the treadmill, and he was 80, what was he, 81? 80, oh, just about 82 when he had his stroke. He died at 87. So he couldn't even get out of the bed. Maybe he could sit on the edge of the bed, but usually people had to help him. And he would have given anything to have some of that health back. I don't think he really cared about fitness much at that point, even though they had a physical therapist coming by a couple times a week. And he'd work out a little bit on an exercise bike, holding onto some a bar doing some squats. It was not, he would have given anything just to be able to walk to the bathroom and use the toilet again, right? That's the kind of moving I'm talking about. Going out for a walk. Let's say we're on the floor. In fact, let's do some of that right here. If you're not moving for health, then you're really asking for trouble. Because moving makes the blood circulate. It gets your lymph system to pump. You know, that's part of your immune system, right? And immunity is very big right now. There's a virus, right? Get your immune system to pump. It helps get some of the old blood, the used blood, out of your legs, the venous return back to your heart. Digestion, your vestibular, balance system. In fact, all your systems do better when you move frequently. Now, a lot of people say, well, I exercise every other day for an hour. You could exercise for 2 hours every day. And if you spent the rest of the day sitting most of the time, maybe getting up to go to the bathroom, maybe taking a short walk or something, that exercise, as far as your health goes, is a waste of time. It's not going to do the job because you weren't designed to do that. You weren't designed to, and I'm not just blowing smoke either. I can back this up with plenty of studies and facts, and even better than that. Who needs those? I know from my own experience, I know from the experience of many other people, that this is, there's just no doubt about this. This is a fact for you too. You and I are not much different, right? We both were designed with hearts, lungs, livers, muscles, joints. Some people were born with more or less than others. Some people are born with more problems than others. Yes, so there's levels for it, but basically we're all the same as far as that goes. In fact, we're all the same in many ways. So I'm just going to stay with the physical part. So moving is something that will, I don't know how, there's no percentage. What will do for your level of health is astounding. There's older people, fairly old, that make sure they get up and down out of chairs. They do stuff all day and they move. And they were my dad's age. And you wouldn't know by talking and looking at them. You might have never met one of those, but I have. And that's what they attribute their youthfulness to. It's a lot of moving. And here we are on the floor. So join me. You've seen me do a lot of these things. So let's say you're on the floor, you're watching a streaming show, like you're watching me. Stream. I hope I'm streaming into your phone, your house, your car, your basement, maybe your workplace. You're watching me secretly, and you're getting something out of this. So let's say you're on the floor watching me, okay? I'll give myself credit here. Watching me. And you've been here about a half hour. Well, that's a little too long already. You haven't moved for a half an hour. Yeah, maybe you've shifted around on the floor a little, which is not a bad idea. If you watch kids, that's what they do. They don't hold positions very long. They're shifting around on the floor. So here's where we can start. Let's just do a lot of seated positions. So we're here for a minute or two. This is called the shin box. Left leg's forward. Then we can move the right leg forward. Don't worry, we'll get to other stuff. But this is the core of your health, right? And they say health is wealth. And there's no reason to argue with that. And you know that when suddenly you don't have it. And people will do anything to get it back. When they know their health is threatened. When they know that it could be life-threatening. Man, oh man, do things go crazy in here and in here. And a lot of fear, a lot of things happen. So this is the shin box. We could just sit like this, a couple minutes on each side. Then we can just sit here like so, with our legs out in front, right? Just like this. Then we can sit with the old leg cross like this, couple minutes. I'm not showing you anything you don't already know. It's just something you probably don't even think about anymore. Shift to the other leg. So get out of the sofa, get out of the chair, and get on the floor. You can certainly change your posture around just sitting on the ground. The main component of movement and your health is moving that changes your posture around all the time. The amazing things that does to the inner workings of your body, the more I go on with this, the more I'm amazed with it. And it's good stuff. So you can sit here cross-legged. Both legs in front for a while, this one. Then later on, this one. Then we can go here on stomach like this. This actually feels pretty good. Especially if you've been sitting a long time. This is great for your posture. This is called the Sphinx. You can take your elbows a little further out. You can even move your head around, which is a great move. This is what you did as a baby, moving that head around. Building your strength this way. Well, you still build and it builds a strong connection in your body. Well, you can still build a strong connection in your body. Just because you're 50-something and not a baby anymore, who said that's supposed to make a big difference, right? Change your posture often. That's a huge key when I say move. All right? And we can go like this and like this and like this. Then we can sit on our feet like this. Woo, that's stretching out the bottom of my feet. I don't know about you. Then we can come to the tops of our feet. So if this is going too fast for you, you can always come back and watch this again, right? This is your life we're talking about. I'm not just showing you this and blowing, like I said, smoke just to impress you. I hope you take some of this and actually try it at least. Use it. And don't just try it once for 2 minutes and say, that doesn't work. But you got to really do it. In fact, don't even try it. You've really just got to do it. Okay. We can sit. Let's just do one more because I'm going to overwhelm you with a bunch of stuff. You can even sit this way here, or in what some people call, I've heard called the Lego sit. I think Tim Anderson of Original Strength calls it this. So sit back on your left leg, your right leg here. You could call the Lego sit because it's like a kid on the floor playing with their Legos, right? And of course, you switch legs. Now, if you're in the chair watching me, you get on the floor and change positions around. You've changed your posture, right? Now, if you're in the chair, here's another way. This one's brilliant. I showed this one a couple weeks ago. You're sitting in your chair. Well, one easy way to change your posture is push yourself away from the desk a little bit. Take your arms out of it, so put your hands here, and just stand up and down. A couple weeks ago, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I forget, we did this for 30 seconds. There's even a number. If you can only get up, say, 9, 10 times in 30 seconds, you're in trouble. Your body and systems are not connected. You are starting to fall apart. Not good. You should be able to get up and down, at a decent pace for 30 seconds. So for 30 seconds or a minute, get up and down. Then pull your chair back up. Go back to what you were doing. Half hour later, do another 10. You don't even have to do 30 seconds. Just change your posture, right? You change from sitting to standing, back to sitting. Okay. More stuff. There's so many. Your body can move in so many directions. There's literally thousands of moves. You know, you can walk and just swing your arms. This is okay. This is the march. We've done this many times. And when you get the march down, you'll really feel the swing of your arm integrate with the planting of the other leg like this. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We can turn this to a lift up onto the ball of your foot like this. See, I do almost a toe raise, a calf raise here. Then, if you don't have a jump rope, you can just turn it into a skip. Notice my arms are still swinging, and I come just barely off the floor. You don't need to come way up in the air and pound your feet down. You know, just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You can stand up, put your hands out in front of you. You ready to try this? You're just going to stretch the backs of those tight hips and legs. You ready? You're going to have to find the height for this. For me, it's right around here. For you, it might be way down here. Without kicking crazy hard like you're trying to kick a football. Just gentle. Lift your leg up. See if you can touch your hands. So if you can't touch up there, take your hands down here. Touch. Put them in a height you can touch with these leg kicks. You can also do to the side. So you might need to take your arms way down here for this one if you're real tight. Whew. You can also do a spinal wave. I love this one. Think of your whole spine as waving up and down, like so. So head first, upper back, middle back, lower back. When I get to the bottom, I bend my knees. Then I reverse it and come up. Look up, down, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out through your nose. Now, I'm doing it at a quicker pace. You can do these slower, but work the wave all through your spine. Joseph Pilates, the creator of Pilates, which I'm sure you've heard of, who had great success in World War I, getting soldiers rehabilitated, said something like, you're only as healthy as the condition of your spine. Well, if your spine is real stiff and weak and hurts, you're not going to move very well. If you can't move very well, then the thing you're designed to do, you're not able to do. That's a problem, worse than you might think. When you see older people break a hip and suddenly they're not walking around anymore, you ever notice how fast they start sliding downhill? It's moving. I'm just going to keep harping on that one. Okay, so while we're moving, we're also breathing, right? Close your mouth. Let's do a few breaths here. I'm just going to take my arms up, breathe in through my nose like this, right down here in the low part of my lungs. Not up here in my throat, because that's about as much breath as you're going to get. It kind of almost sends a panic response when you do that. Down here, like so. And then let the air out. Again. Foundation number 2, breathing. We can throw one arm up, and you can do 100 different movements while you breathe, right? We can try again. Let's try again first before I show you the next thing. Then drop your arms with a big huff of an exhale, big sigh. It's like you just finished you built a shed in your backyard, all with your own two hands, one of those kits. You struggled all day, and you finally think you got it. A storm comes, blows it all down, and you come out and just go, that kind of sigh. So let's try this again. And just let everything go limp. So don't throw your arms down. Just let everything drop, like all the power of your muscles suddenly shut off. Right? One more time. Bigger, bigger. I didn't do a good job on that one. Let's try this again. Hold your breath a little bit. Hold it, and let it go. Okay. Now bob up and down in your legs while keeping your upper body loose. We've done this one before too. Let your arms shake like noodles. You're not moving them. It's the bouncing that moves them. Even the skin on your face is bouncing around. Now let's do a little box breathing here. Breathe in and out only through your nose. Right down here low. We're going to breathe in for 3 counts, for 3 bounces. Hold our breath for the next 3 bounces. Exhale for the next 3 bounces. Then hold our breath after the exhale for those 3 bounces. Then we start over with an inhale. So ready? Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Let's take it up to 4 bounces now. Ready? Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Now do it on your own for 2 times through. And let's stretch out our face. Stick your tongue out. It feels great to stretch your face out. These are muscles too, and they can move, right? Human body has 7, I can't remember the number now, high 700s something muscles, I think it's counted. The number kind of changes at times, but that's a lot of muscles. That means you can move a lot of different ways. So again, inhale. Ooh, that feels good to stretch out your face. Especially if you've been kind of straining at a screen for hours. Oh man, stretching out your face, moving your eyes up and down. Tremendous. Great stuff. So, okay. I talked a lot about moving. We did breathing. And if you look at Younger Than Last Year, the whole thing's based on 7 foundations. And then within that each of those foundations is all kinds of different stuff. And all those foundations rely on each other, interrelated together, like a big ball of goodness. That's a lot of stuff. So let's say you're watching this, and you say to yourself, man, I need to do something. Let me look into this Younger Than Last Year thing. And you look at all these foundations and all this stuff, and you look at the stuff I'm showing you, and you don't know where to start, and you're getting overwhelmed. It's so much stuff to think about. What about my health? What about my cardio? What about my food? What should I eat? How much do I weigh? Do I worry about my body fat? What do I do first thing in the morning? Am I sleeping enough? Am I sleeping too much? How much water should I drink? All these different things. All right. Whoa. Let's do this a much more sane way. Let's start with this. Let's just pick one thing. I got a story for you. I told this story in the live stream on Wednesday. I have a UPS man here in Brooklyn for years, and he started putting on weight, and I started the fitness studio around the corner. So he would see me, summertime, the door was open, and he would drive by and say, Robert, geez, I'm going to use his words, I'm getting so damn fat. I got a new uniform size. My back is killing me. Can you help me? Can we do something? So he and I tried to make some time where I could, spend about an hour, 45 minutes or so, just seeing if there's something we could do. And his schedule and mine were never meeting up. So he came by one day and I said, Danny, what are we going to do here? He said, I don't know, my schedule. So I said, look, wait. It's too much to think about. Let's just find one thing and start with that. Because sometimes we find the right one thing, or maybe not even quite the right one thing. Just one thing to start. It starts the dominoes going. It's amazing sometimes. So I started asking him questions. I said, what are you eating at night? Are you pigging out? What, besides the in and out of the truck all day and up and down stairs and elevators and pushing hand trucks, you doing anything else? There's a lot of things. We finally I said, well, what are you doing during the day, during your route when you're eating? And he said, well, I don't eat a lot. I just drink a lot. And I said, well, what are you drinking? He said, I drink a lot of soda. I said, aha, soda, huh? So I said, all right, let's do this. This is your one thing. See if you can cut way back on the soda. Let's start with that and see what happens. So then I didn't see him for a long time. Months and months. UPS changes drivers' routes so much nowadays. They are so busy. And this was a few years ago. This wasn't this year. This was before this craziness hit. So I was walking down the street one summer. It was a late morning. Maybe it was. Or maybe it was early afternoon. I can't remember. Anyway, I saw him. What I thought was him down the street. And as I got closer, I realized it was, but it didn't look like him. He's just a lot different. And I got closer. He just looked much thinner. He lost all this weight. I said, Danny, what happened here? He said, Robert, I've been wanting to tell you. I took your advice, and here's what I did. I stopped drinking soda during my route. I didn't drink any soda. I just drank water instead. I said, well, so that's all you did? You didn't change anything else? He said, no, that was all. And he said, I'm wearing my uniform from 20 years ago when I first started, when I was much thinner, because my regular uniform that I was wearing was too big because I'd gotten so damn fat. And I said, oh my God, that's amazing. And he said, not only that, my back is feeling so much better. I got energy. It's terrific. He said, thank you. I said, no, thank yourself. You did it. So he found that one thing. And look, he could have taken that in so many directions. His back was feeling better. He had more energy. He could have maybe, if he wanted to put fitness on top of that, exercise 3 or 4 times a week. That certainly would have been a good thing. Because he does have to lift heavy boxes and things. And when you get older, you want to sometimes train to be able to do those things because you do start losing muscle. So you want to keep that on. Maybe I could have shown him some more movements just to do during the day. Just some stretches or things to do, whatever. But he started with the one thing. So what's your one thing? Maybe you start by using the old mirror test. Stand in front of a full-length mirror, totally naked. And you got to do this with with not bringing any preconceptions in, not freaking out, not even thinking, just observing. What do you see? The mirror doesn't lie. The mirror won't tell you what you want to hear. It won't soft soap, but it won't hard soap either. It's not bad. It's not good. It just is. It shows you what is. And when you're looking at what you see in the mirror, what do you see, right? And you kind of can maybe come up with your one thing then. You'll say, well, man, I'm not looking so good. You know what? I'm eating at the diner for lunch 5 days a week at work. Maybe I'll start bringing in my own lunch where I got control over my portions, what I'm eating. It's going to take a little extra effort, but not as much effort as it's going to take if I keep going down this road, because that's going to be tough stuff. And that might be your one thing. Maybe your other thing is, oh man, when I get home from work, I'm kind of tired, but the other day I took a walk and I just energized. 10 minutes into that walk, every day when I come home from work, I'm going to walk for a half hour to 45 minutes. Or you get a Fitbit and say, every day I'm going to walk for 15,000 steps. That's going to be my one thing. Whatever it is, get your first domino started. And then we can go to other foundations. There's a famous book called The One Thing. It kind of talks about this a little. Not a little, I mean a lot. That's what it's called, The One Thing. But I have found myself just start with the one thing. Otherwise, you can get overwhelmed. And you start picking things. What I know took years to learn. I didn't learn it in a week. And I still make mistakes. It's from experience. It's from learning from others. It's from reading. It's from all kinds of different things. And doing things over and over and over again. And here we are. I hope to keep going. I want to see how long I can keep doing this. How about you? Do you want to start doing something? Maybe you're not happy with where you are. So how can you do this? Well, first of all, let's start moving. Let's do a little bit more movement before we wrap this up. Let's just get down on the floor here on our hands and knees. Let's rock. This is a rock. I got my toes underneath like this, but you can also put your foot laces down, position like this if you want. We'll do 10 rocks. I lost count because I was talking. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Step feet forward, stand up. Touch your hands to cross crawl. Touch your elbows and your knees 10 times. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's come back down to the floor. This time we'll get into Sphinx. We'll do those head turns we showed earlier. So get the elbows a little in front of you. You can do 10 of these. And you know, during the day, you pick like a couple minutes just to do this for certain times of the day. Maybe just this. Maybe blending everything. Now stand up again. Now let's come back down, back to the rock. This time, we're going to come a little further out over our hands, keeping our stomach strong. So we're not collapsing like this, right? We're holding tight right here in our shoulders, our abs, front of our hips. 9, I think this is 10. 10, and stand up. Okay, let's do the face, breathe, and stretch again. You ready? 1, 2, 3, inhale. Hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath, and anyway, so you see I put some movement in there. I was standing there too long. It was time to do some stuff. That's something you can do. Anybody can do. So how do you get started with your one thing? Well, here's one way. As you know, Younger Than Last Year has moved pretty virtual thanks to last year. And we're going to stay pretty locked into virtual classes and virtual exercise and everything else that we're doing. The fitness studio, I think we are going to open up to very small classes, maybe starting next month, providing the people that are coming in, including myself, have already gotten their vaccines and are done. But wherever you are, look, we offer a free trial session class where you can just come in and try it. And before you even do that, you and I get on virtually for a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour if there's a lot involved. Just I'd put you through some things. We try some stuff, find out what you want, ask you some questions. You ask me some questions, find out what this is all about. Then from there, you can come in the trial class and try it, right? Right. YoungerThanLastYear.net. That phone number needs to be changed, but it'll still work. You can go to the website, look that over as well. I don't know why it won't cost you anything. The only thing it'll cost you is some time. If you could learn something or get yourself started and find out that one thing, if we could find that out, think of how that one thing, and it doesn't have to be a huge, big thing. Danny, my UPS man, just stopped drinking sodas. It was not a huge thing. But the result was, right? I don't know why you wouldn't. At least come in and do it. Maybe it's not for you. And if it isn't, then I might recommend something that would be. So it's here. I hope to see you. And let's do, you know what? I've been standing too long. When you stand in place too long, it's almost the same as sitting too long. You ever notice when you stand too long in one place, how your back gets tight and sore and your legs and your knees? The same kind of effect because you stop moving. You're not changing posture. So let's do this. We'll take one leg forward like this. In fact, we'll put our hands on here, right? And we'll just lift this leg up. Try not to kick too much. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now take your knee in. Shoot your leg out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And do the other side. So you can do this at any time during the day. Don't kick it too fast. Get a little bit of, use a little strength to lift your leg, right? Don't just kick it back and forth. You know, use a little muscular strength. And now take your knee in and straighten it. This is good for butt, hamstrings, low back. Whew. Very important to get back there too. Move, move, move. I hope I stirred something in your head so you maybe think a little bit different tonight. When your head hits the pillow, see what you're thinking. And that's it for today. It's another Bingercise in the books. If you want to go back and watch it, it's here on Facebook and on YouTube to go back and watch. And let you and I do one thing each day to be younger than we were last year. I'll see you next time.